Looking at the squad itself, one name jumps out, Nathaniel Clyne, who's uncapped. What's impressed you about him this season?
Well, he's impressed us for quite a while. I mean, even before the World Cup, he was a name that we were constantly considering. But of course, there were other people then who we considered perhaps to be in front of him. But he was a player that we thought was very interesting. And now, of course, we've lost Glenn Johnson, we've lost Kyle Walker. John Stones played there the other day, and we were looking for someone else who we thought could be a very interesting candidate for the right-back post. And Nathaniel, who was considered even last time before the last two matches, this time was not only considered but was asked to come.
How tempted were you to have included Calum Chambers and Luke Shaw, for example, who are in the under-21 squad?
Well, the point about those two is I think that, as far as I'm concerned, they belong to the senior squad. I think they've got the qualities to be in the senior squad, and had there not been these very two important under-21 matches, which do decide the fate, if you like, of the under-21 team, which has done so well, then they would have been in this squad, both of them, and I've made that clear to both as well. But I've also made it clear to everybody, and I think I've said this to you before, it's important that players, especially when they're young and they actually break into the first team squad in some way, that doesn't give them an automatic right to always be there. There might be times when they're needed more in the under-21 squads, and that's the case at the moment with Callum and Luke. I've spoken to them both and explained that very clearly and made it clear that, come November they're going to be serious candidates to be back in this squad. And Gareth's done the same, and I'm hoping that the two of them will strengthen the under-21 team going into these two important games and make sure we qualify.
Hi, Roy. From what you're saying then, it sounds like Sturridge has got no chance of being fit to play for Liverpool this weekend. Is that your understanding?
I'm not sure. I don't think he will have. My conversation with Brendan was such that it seems that he's still got a way to go, and I've actually had a contact with Daniel as well. I would be a bit surprised if he makes this weekend. It might not be out of the question because it's now a month since the injury, and it's about the time when the injury should be clearing up. So I'm hoping for him that he'll be able to be a part of it, but it still won't affect us because I think the best thing for him at this moment in time, and the same applies to Phil Jones, they need more time to get fully fit, and they wouldn't be fully fit or match fit to take part with us.
You were at the Emirates last night and saw Danny Welbeck's hat-trick. I guess that really brought a smile to your face, didn't it?
Did indeed, yeah. And I'm sure it brought an even bigger smile to Danny's face and to Arsene's face because it was a really outstanding performance. It was a very good team performance as well. But the way he took his goals was really good, and it's obviously good for Danny's confidence after his 2 goals for England to get a hat-trick in a Champions League game. That's something which is of importance and something which will, I'm sure, be a high point in his career when he looks back on it. So we're happy that he's in form and happy, hopefully, that he will be able to help us like he did in Switzerland.
With these 2 qualifiers, I guess it is a case of nothing less than 6 points is really good enough, is it?
Well, there'll be no complacency, that's for certain. When you're at the cutting edge, it's always that little bit more difficult. You know that things can go wrong, and you know that teams like San Marino and in particular Estonia, who are very well organised and who defend very well, will make it difficult for you. But we know what we've got to do, and there'll be no complacency, and we'll be working very hard to make sure that we do what we need to do in those 2 games to get the results.